What's going on, you guys? It's your boy Alterrim here, back with another sick and lit edition of Wrestle Shade. And for tonight's episode, we're going to be doing a small review, a small recap of FX's hit new American drama series, Pose. Pose. The show Pose is going to be starring these wonderful, wonderful people over here. Excuse me as I look at some of my notes, but Evan Peters is going to be playing Stan. He's from American Horror Story. I'm pretty sure you all are familiar with him. We have Angelica Ross as Candy. We have MJ Rodriguez as Blanca. We have James Van Dierbeek. He's one of the Office guys. I think his name is Matt in the series. We have Kate Myra, hope I'm pronouncing that right, as Patty. She is going to be Stan's wife in the series. We have India Moore as Angel. We have Ryan Jamal Swain as Damon. We also have Dominique Jackson as Electra Abundance. And we also have Billy Porter playing Pray Tell. So this is a pretty hot cast. Do not get me wrong. I was looking forward to seeing some of the actual people that were in the ballroom scene. More of the actual underground ballroom presence. Don't get me wrong, I did see and spot out some people, in the as extras in the crowd, and chanting and rooting the contestants on and everything. And I saw a few people outside dancing when they had the Vogue and Old Way number at the dock at the pier, and that was pretty cool. But I was just expecting to see more of a real underground ballroom presence. So first off, I'm just gonna kind of take you through a quick recap of the full episode, and bitch. This was a pilot episode. The episode was, I'm thinking, an hour and 30 minutes. Yeah, it was an hour and 30 minutes. I thought it was going to be, I don't know. I thought for the first episode it was maybe going to be 45 minutes to an hour. But I am glad that it continued to go on to an hour and 30 minutes. That was kind of hot. The opening, I guess this is typical of us in the ballroom scene. Starting the episode out, planning a ball, getting that introduction in on who you are, the House of Abundance, all the house members. Now, I know a lot of crafting and stuff goes on, I know a lot of, stealing goes on, but that is inside and outside of the ballroom scene, to be completely honest with you. The girls break in the museum to actually get royal wear. First off, my only one of my only gripes was, there are many different forms of royalty, and for the girls just to go for the traditional Barbara Walters royal wedding, the great-great-grandma, for them to go for that, I mean, it's typical, it's traditional, but there's more than one type of royalty. Might wanna, but they had to bring it in royalty. No shade. They smashed. They killed it. They broke in the museum, waited for the museum to close. All of them, mind you, Dominique, Miss Abundance, just full-blown labels, bitch, just ready to slay. She's in the museum walking around like she's the cunnest thing on the block, literally. And so they wait inside of the museum for the guard to come through to shut everything down. And then they pretty much wait for the museum to close and then steal everything out of the museum. The police catch up with them anyway, but by the time the police get at them, they've already walked the fucking ball and just killed it. Tens of the house, bitch. Everybody came out as the royal family. That was hot. It was hot. I'm not even gonna hate on that part. That was hot. I just would have liked to have seen something other than the traditional, traditional royalty. We get into the typical father versus son versus mother versus God versus gay type of issue thing in the household, where you have your traditional dad. He's working hard, he's providing money, take care of the home and take care of mama, and mama going to church and she folding clothes every Sunday after dinner, and it's just one of those issues where you're a child and you gay and you can't help it, and you damn if you do and you damn if you don't. So he got put out, and so now he's on the streets. Damon, surviving and dancing and spinning and dipping, bitch, and doing what the fuck you gotta do, just to make it through, and all of that is paying off. I hate to fast forward like this, but Blanca, she is in the family of abundance. She's not really accepted. The girls are taking her ideas and literally running with them, and they're just playing her left and right. And so she, in the midst of everything, in the midst of her coming into herself and coming into, you know, her own power, she finds out that she's diagnosed with HIV. And the girls back then with the AZT, it was just very, very unfortunate. But they take you down that wormhole, so to speak, with what happened to the people who were specifically on that medication back then. It was a very, very gruesome thing. But they definitely did showcase that, and they definitely did highlight that we always have to be reminded of that for some reason in every gay, slave, or whatever type of show or movie, bitch. It's always there. We're always going to be reminded. But anyway, Blanca, oh Lord. She's diagnosed with HIV, but she's not going to let that stop her. She says she's still going to come out and make her own house. She actually moves out of the Abundance household, and she goes and she puts some money down in her own place, and she's renting her own place, bitch, okay? The House of Evangelista, bitch, okay? Now, I remember those girls back at the day when I was voguing at the damn Atmosphere in Newport News. You know, I don't know if that was the real chapter, but I was still voguing against those girls in Newport News back in the day. Blanca, she's got her house. She's walking through the park one day. She sees Damon, kind of homeless, kind of dancing for change, bitch. And she's like, you know what? Have you ever considered a house? He tries to play her at first like there are two different types of black going on here. Like we're two different types of African American, bitch. Like your ancestors didn't get on the boat and hers did. Well, my dreams are not your dreams, bitch. My swag ain't your swag. And that's pretty much what he's giving her, you know. Give me some change and step off, bitch. I'm homeless. But bitch, ain't doing what you're doing. She's just like, you know, you should really think about it. I have a house. I'll give you a home. You know, I'll give you shelter. I'll give you a place to stay. You know, you can eat. You know, all you got to do is walk balls, pay your dues, bitch, and just be a family. And that is something I want to actually skip over to and just say, like, I like how they kept the family aspect of houses in general and how they kept the mother as the meat of the house, so to speak. And I also love how they are showcasing, like, back in the day when it was really about getting a house, putting your house members in it, doing for them as they did for you. That is phenomenal. I love the way they showcased that because, you know, people have so much to say about just gay society, gay lifestyle, balls, you know, gay lingo. People have so much to say about that in general. I'm proud of the show, you know, the cast and the whole nine, the whole kit and caboodle, that they really showcased that and went in depth of the whole house, you know, and being a house mother. Where was the father at? I don't know. I don't really know if the fathers really existed, if they played a predominant role back then. I would think they would, but you know, this is on TV. This, you know, there's a little bit of Hollywood going on here, so I don't know why the fathers have not been showcased there. Maybe that's later to come. Maybe I'm jumping the gun, and if I am, I apologize. But I didn't really see any mention of any house fathers or any male figure like that in the first episode of Pose. After Blanca and Damon form a relationship, Angela comes along. She tries to walk a ball in pink chiffon and gets the Haya of Doom. They send her packing. Blanca comes running after her saying, you know, bitch, you know they was going to chop you, but anyway, you should join the house. Meanwhile, Angel is working the block, bitch. You know, they's working the scroll. You gotta do what you gotta do. And she meets this guy named Stan, played by Evan Peters off of American Horror Story. American Horror Story, all of them damn near about. He is a client of hers, and they are starting to bond and build on a relationship. He can say he's not, but he's his affection and his mannerisms in the show are clearly showing it. And so they've got a little something going on. Yeah, Angel does join the house of Evangelista, and by the end of the episode, we have Blanca, you know, encouraging Damon to go and get into dance school. Damon rocks the house down. Damon kills it to Whitney Houston, oh, want to dance with somebody. I mean, I was like, at first, but then you have to think about it. You have to put your mind back into that time frame, back into that realm, so to speak. That was probably the hot #1 song at that time. So I was like, yeah, well, he killed it for what it was, you know. And so that was really, really good. He got accepted. The board accepted him. He went above and beyond. He put it all on the line. He put it all out there, and it was really, really hot. And that segment really was sort of a tearjerker for me personally, because I love to dance. I love everything about dancing, and you know, Vogue. When I learned how to Vogue, it was just like a whole new world for me. And competing in balls was just amazing, and I actually still want to do it now. I just haven't really dedicated myself enough to get back into it, but that segment really brought a lot home for me. But it was a really good segment. It was a really good segment, and I know people that walk balls now, people who used to walk balls back in the day, people who really, really wanted to learn how to Vogue but really couldn't get it and are like learning. I know that segment maybe have, you know, made you feel a certain type of way as well, you know, as far as pulling on your heartstrings, so to say. But yeah, that was a really, really cool segment. Long story short, he got accepted. Everybody had a party. They had a little house meeting. They got ready to compete in the ball. That following 2 days later, they actually challenged the House of Abundance to a little like battle royale. I wish they could still do that in today's balls, but bitch, with all the fighting and stuff like that, and people hot temper and people on their Ritalin, and you know, coming to balls gassed up on lean, Listerine, you know what I'm saying, real gas and shit like that. You know, that's just not it's just not happening no more like it was back in the day. And that's something I really do miss. I mean, even though I was walking balls in 2007, and you can say that's not all that long ago, it was still a different energy. It was still a different presence. It was still a different bravado than kind of sorta what's going on today. Because this is actually my first review of anything, of a TV show like this, of a TV show that really is close to me. So for this part of the video, I just want to go over some particular highlights that I liked, and possibly rant and nag about some more things too. I don't want you guys to think I'm coming from a negative place, because I'm not. The categories for the first episode of Pose were, of course, royalty at the beginning of the episode, executive realness, high fashion evening wear, and military man's realness, okay? And so, I mean, they did say it was going to be a American series, but I had to go back and think about it, and think about, you know, what they were doing back then, and what they wanted to embody and what they wanted to look like back then. Of course, they even stated it in the series, and that's something I like that they were blunt about. They were like, you know, we want to put on the finest threads, we want to be dressed to the nines, and we want to go walk on Park Avenue or New York Times Square or whatever, just like the rest of the white men and white women, you know, and show them that, you know, bitch, you ain't the only one that got it. So I mean, and that's what they did, and the underground ballroom scene did a great job of that. Like Blanca said, bitch, you might not have been going to a real red carpet, but bitch, you were going to a red carpet, bitch, and it was the hottest red carpets of red carpets. Like, no shade. Some of the really, really big house balls, like the House of Ninja when they throw balls, the House of Latex when they throw balls in New York, the House of Mizrahi, House of Chanel, Ebony, the House of Khan, the House of La Croix Lan Vin Ibisu. Bitch, I mean, it's just a whole host. And those are just houses that I'm familiar with and that I had a chance to develop relationships with people with in those houses. But I mean, hey, was I satisfied personally with the categories? I guess I kind of was expecting just to be like, bitch, boom, bop, 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 bop. Okay, I was just expecting that, and Willie Ninja did not. He really didn't give that back in the day. It was more precision. It was more calculated, bitch. It was more grace. Okay, period. But I wish they maybe could find someone to play a character like him, or maybe, you know, have a storyline within Pose with the character around him. Some people I did see some people from My House, the show that's coming on Fuse, with Precious, the commentator. Shouts out New Jersey, New York, NYC. So I saw Angel. I thought I saw Angel Milan. Excuse me, I apologize if he's not Milan now. But I thought I saw Angel. Old wave, new wave, stretch, bend, pop, flex. He is absolutely amazing. And if you're in the ballroom scene, I know you know who I'm talking about. I thought I saw Danielle Ninja in the Vogue number when they were dancing outside on the dock at the pier. And I also thought I saw Rose Chanel. I used to be in the House of Chanel when I first started walking, and I thought that looked like her. She had her face powdered up, and she was in the beginning scene with the cheeks. Her face was done. If it was her, of course, her face was done. But you know, that was a pretty cool highlight for me. I know there were so many other people that I'm just not thinking about right now, and I'm trying to do this off the cuff. So those are just some of the little things that stuck out to me for the first episode of Pose. Shouts out to Twiggy Garcon Poochie. I'm not trying to be funny. I love you to death. But shouts out to Twiggy. Shouts out to everybody in the ballroom scene that still holds it dear to your heart, but just can't be active right now like you want to be. You know, I could go down a long list of people that I would like to say shouts out to, but bitch, I know I can't. I know for a fact I can't get everybody. It would be like a LSS, and this video would be fucking 45 minutes long. Like, seriously. Like, I'm hoping to see more of this show. It's gonna be awesome. Like, I know I'm gonna have my gripes because I'm still stuck in this space where I want it to be a certain way and reflect a certain thing. But for the guys that have not watched Paris is Burning, I don't know why a lot of people compared it to that. I guess it's because it's set around the era, but it's not really a documentary or like a show strictly based on Paris is Burning. It has a small little twist to it. But if you want to know, you know, about, you know, hardcore underground beginnings of ballroom and the houses and the shade, you know, and all the fun things and all the appreciative things too that come with it, definitely check out Paris is Burning. It's a hot movie. I watched it about 2 years into the ballroom scene, learning everything, learning all the categories, learning what this was, learning what that was, and it's just a great movie / documentary. Definitely too, if you're unfamiliar, I know everybody is doing this right now, but please go check some people out on YouTube. YouTube has definitely been a blessing for, you know, everybody that's walking categories now, and that they're building a platform of their videos to showcase what they've been doing for a certain amount of years. So like, you have your proof. Here you go. This is my proof of what I've done. I'm chronicled on YouTube. So go check some people out on YouTube. You can literally just go type in Vogue and Ball, and literally shit will just bombard you. It'll be so many videos. So shouts out to Andre Chanel from back in the day when there was no YouTube, bitch. Ballroom throwbacks. Everybody that's doing the whole media thing right now, the whole YouTube thing right now, taking over. Kelly, bam! See, look, here I am with shout outs, and I said I was not going to do that. You know what? I'm out. Thank you guys for joining me for another sick and lit edition of Russell Shade. I know this was a little different this time around, but if you watched the show, hopefully you can appreciate this review / you know, commentary dig. If you have not watched the show, hopefully me talking about it will make you want to go and watch the show as well on FX. I think the show is going to be coming on every Sunday, bitch, at 9 o'clock. I don't know about Eastern Standard, Mountain, all those other times. Don't even get me to lie to you. 9 o'clock over here on the East Coast, 9 o'clock. It's your boy. Peace.